in every 3 grain growers in Australia's northern region could benefit from modifying their farming systems. It's a conclusion drawn from computer modelling that simulated total farm yields based on paddock histories compared with actual yields.
So that means that there's some issues around how people put their farming systems together, either trade-offs between particular crops that are grown or other challenges in their system which mean that they're not achieving the potential of their current farming systems.
The modelling formed the foundations for a Northern Farming Systems project funded by GRDC, while feedback from grower focus groups shaped the trials so they provide more meaningful results.
The farmer focus groups in the project they're critical actually, because the aim was to find out how they make decisions in their farming system, what are the major challenges, and what are the problems that they see evolving into the future.
3 key challenges were identified by the focus groups. The first was how they utilise rainfall, allowing crops to make the most of available soil moisture.
The second was how they put their sequence of crops together in their farming system to make sure that they manage the presence of weeds, diseases and pests in their cropping system.
The third challenge for growers to make sure crops have sufficient nutrient in any particular season to maximise yield. Research partners CSIRO, Queensland's Department of Agriculture and Fisheries and New South Wales DPI established trial sites from central Queensland to New South Wales Western Plains.
We have 7 sites in the program. We have a major site here near Toowoomba that looks at, I think, 38 farming systems and all the interactions between them.
38 farming systems might sound like overkill, but it reflects the complexity of the northern region. Some growers focus on summer crops, others on winter crops, while others again have a mix on their farms.
So what we're trying to do on the Farming Systems project is to see how important some levers that growers can pull might be. So the first lever is how frequently they sow crops. So if they change that from one year to another, will that change how their farming system performs?
The second lever is crop sequencing and how that impacts a system's performance in terms of weed, disease and pest management. While the third lever is nutrition.
Whether they put in place practices which maintain their soil resources for the long term and how that has implications on the system as a whole.
Various amounts of applied nutrients, use of break crops such as canola, the frequency of legumes in crop rotations, crop densities and many more scenarios across the 38 farming systems should answer a lot of questions.
As an agronomist, you get about 77 questions a day and each one's different. So the questions you need to answer are all of those ones. They're all about water use efficiency, they're all about nutrition, they're all about herbicide, they're all about resistance, they're all about which crops are most profitable. So you get those questions every day. So anything I learn here will be helpful for the future, I can guarantee that.
Initial funding for the program is for 5 years and it will take time to evaluate the various cropping options. What will also be studied is how the systems affect soils.
Over the life of the project, we'll be conducting repeated sampling of particularly soils to see how those different crop rotations affect soil carbon, soil pathogen loads and soil nutrient availability.
And always, the objective will be to get those 2 in every 3 northern grain growers not already maximising whole farm productivity and profitability closer to that goal.